In a dark rented apartment in New Jersey, a man watched a video on a cracked phone screen. A Filipino woman, crying with joy in front of a brand new house in the snow. Beside her, a young woman in nurse's scrubs, holding out the keys. He watched it 7 times. Then he dialed a number he had memorized 20 years ago and never once called. It rang. Once. Twice. 3 times. A woman answered, older now, but he knew the voice instantly. It was the voice that used to wake him before dawn, whispering, "Aral Kalang, Mahal, I'll handle everything." And that voice said the 3 words that ended him. Sino to. Who is this? The woman who sold fish in the rain so he could become a doctor did not recognize his voice. He had become a stranger to the person who built him. If you believe a mother's sacrifice is never wasted, drop Pinoy in the comments. Because this is the story of a fish vendor from Navotas, the husband who left her, and the daughter who showed the world exactly what her mother was worth. 25 years earlier. The Navotas fish port before sunrise, rows of wet concrete stalls, the smell of salt and diesel. And in the middle of it, a woman of 25 in rubber boots, stacking crates of galunggong with hands that never stopped moving. Her husband was a medical student. 28, brilliant and completely broke. Every peso from every fish went into one envelope. His tuition, his books, his dream. At night, he studied by a small lamp while she counted coins at the table, still smelling of the sea. And sometimes he watched her and swore to himself, one day she will never smell like fish again. In the beginning, he meant it. That is what makes this a tragedy. On graduation day, she sat in her one good dress, the only one without fish scale stains, and when they called his name, she cried harder than his own mother. He walked off the stage, held up the diploma, and pointed straight at her. "This belongs to you." The whole hall applauded. She covered her face with both hands. The happiest day of her life. She did not know it was also the last good one for a long time. His first hospital job barely covered transport fare. So she kept selling fish, paid the rent, bought the rice, told herself it was temporary. Every sacrifice is temporary. Then she got pregnant. And still, before dawn, she was at the port. 5 months along, hauling crates. 7 months, shouting prices in the rain, lifting boxes no pregnant woman should lift. Because if she stopped, they did not eat. One morning, her legs buckled. A fellow vendor caught her. "Go home, anak. Rest." She steadied herself against the stall. "My husband has patients at 6. His breakfast won't buy itself." Then the promotion came. A bigger hospital, a real salary, the first real money of their marriage. She thought their suffering was finally over. She was half right. Hers was just beginning. Money changes weak men fast. He came home late, smelling of a perfume that wasn't hers. She found the messages. When she confronted him, 8 months pregnant, he didn't apologize. He shouted, swept a plate off the table, and let it smash on the floor at her feet. She went very still, one hand on her belly. Then she knelt, gathered the pieces, swept the floor clean, and went to bed without a word. The woman who had carried his dreams for 5 years now carried his child alone, in a home where the only thing breaking more often than dishes was her trust. 2 weeks later, the hospital offered him a transfer. A partner hospital in New Jersey. A visa. A future. The offer included his wife. He never told her. One morning, 9 months pregnant, she woke to an empty closet and a note on the table. Work assignment. 1 month only. I'll send money. She read it 3 times, folded it, and set it in the drawer. Then she put on her boots and walked to the port. The fish did not care that her husband had just left. They still needed selling. That afternoon, her mother found her there, 9 months pregnant, rain running off her plastic apron. Her mother didn't gasp. She simply lifted the crate from her daughter's hands with the quiet fury of a woman who had lived this before. She had sold fish too. So had her mother. 3 generations holding the world together while men walked away from it. "Sit," her mother said. "I sell today. You eat." The baby came 3 weeks later. A girl, born with her Lola gripping one hand and a midwife the other. No husband, no call, no flowers. The mother looked into that small sleeping face and made the promise that would carry the next 20 years. "You will never sell fish. I will sell enough for both of us." 1 month passed with no money. 6 months. Then a cousin in New Jersey finally told her the truth. He had a new woman there, a new life. He was not delayed, not struggling. He was simply gone, and had been from the moment he wrote that note. That night, she took his photograph off the wall and laid it face down in the drawer, gently, the way you set down something you have finally stopped waiting for. Before dawn, she was back at the port. Now watch what a mother's promise builds. The daughter at 8, stacking fish before school, hands already quick like her Lola's. At 12, studying by candlelight when the power was cut, her notebook propped on a fish crate. At 16, first honors, her mother in the audience in a new dress, crying the way she once cried for a diploma that a man threw away. At 19, an acceptance letter. Nursing, Winnipeg, Canada. Paid for by 14 years of dawns and one envelope that never stopped being filled. At the airport, her mother pressed a worn wooden rosary into her hands. "This bought your plane ticket a knock. Every bead is a morning I stood in that market for you." Canada was heavier than any fish crate. And one desperate night, the daughter did the thing she'd sworn never to do. She found her father online and wrote to him. Carefully, respectfully. "Papa, this is your daughter. I'm studying nursing. I'm struggling. I'm not asking about the past, only for help." She watched the message. 1 check, 2. Read. She waited a week. Nothing. She screenshotted that single word, saved it in a folder, not for revenge, for memory, picked up a double shift, and never wrote to him again. Here is what he never knew. His American dream had a ceiling. His medical license didn't cross the ocean the way he'd assumed. The exams were long and expensive, and a man supporting 3 separate households had nothing left for them. So the man whose degree was bought with fish spent his years as a hospital technician, pushing equipment down corridors, taking orders from doctors half his age, in the same rented apartment, driving the same aging car. While in Winnipeg, the daughter of a fish vendor pinned on her badge and became a registered nurse. The abandoned child became the professional. The doctor became the assistant. The sacrifice found its way home, just not to him. She never planned to be seen. She posted one video. Her mother, 50 now, back home in the Navotas market at dawn. Rubber boots, tired smile, crates of galunggong stacked around her like a throne. The caption, "This woman sold fish for 25 years, so I could wear scrubs. Everything I am, she carried on her back." 10 million views in a week. Not because the daughter was famous, because 10 million people saw that vendor's face and saw their own mother. Then came the moments the world remembers. Her mother touching snow for the first time, hands open to the sky. Her mother sinking to her knees in the doorway of a house with her own name on the papers. Her mother in a brand new car, touching the wheel like glass, laughing and crying at once. "Anak, para saan ito? What is this for?" And behind the camera, the answer, "Para sa lahat ng umaga, ma." For all the mornings. In New Jersey, on that cracked screen, the father watched every second. He looked around his rented apartment and counted, without meaning to, what 20 years had actually bought him. 3 broken homes. Debt in 3 directions. A hallway job where no one knew he'd once been called doctor, and he felt the one thing he had no medicine for. Regret. What he did next surprised everyone, not because it was clever, but because it was so small. He paid a gossip page. A video went up. Famous nurse spoils her mother, but abandons her own father overseas. The internet turned within the hour. Strangers called her ungrateful, walang utang na loob. For 3 days, the comments burned. Her mother called from the new house, frightened. Let it go, anak. We never needed them to understand. But the daughter had something her father never counted on: the truth and 20 years of receipts. She posted one video. No shouting, just a nurse, still in scrubs after a 12-hour shift, looking into the lens. She told all of it: the port, the dawns, the graduation, the empty closet, the folded note, 9 months pregnant in the rain, the 3 years of silence. Then she held up her phone and showed one screenshot. Her message, and beneath it, one word: read. He read it, she said quietly. He read it and said nothing. So tonight, I'm answering him the way he answered me, in front of everyone. She lifted the worn rosary to the camera. My mother gave me this at the airport. Every bead is a morning she stood in that market for me. She looked straight down the lens. How many beads did my father give? The internet went silent. Then it turned, all of it, like a tide. The gossip page deleted the video and apologized within a day. And the story of the fish vendor of Navotas traveled further than her fish ever had. He called on a Sunday. She answered she'd promised herself she would once. He was crying before he finished hello. Sorry for the closet, the note, the silence, the blogger, all of it. Then gently, he said he'd seen she had a baby now. A daughter. His granddaughter. Could he meet her? The daughter looked across the kitchen at her own baby girl asleep in her Lola's arms. A granddaughter carrying a fish vendor's name into the next generation. She let him finish. Her mother had taught her that too. You let the storm blow out before you speak. I forgive you, Tatai. My mother taught me that carrying anger is heavier than carrying fish, and she never let me carry either. A breath. But forgiveness isn't a door. My daughter will learn her Lola's name first. She'll know the story of that market before she ever knows yours. If you want to be in her life, you won't begin as her Lolo. You'll begin the way Mama began, at the bottom, proving it, every single morning. She ended the call, walked to the kitchen, and wrapped her arms around her mother from behind, chin on her shoulder, the way she had since she was small. Sino tumawag? Her mother asked, stirring the adobo. Who called? The daughter kissed her cheek. Nobody, Ma. Nobody important. On a small table in a house in Winnipeg sit 3 things. A wooden rosary, its beads worn smooth by 1,000 dawns. A photograph of a young woman in a wet market, pregnant, exhausted, smiling, unbroken, and a pair of tiny rubber boots, the daughter's first, kept 20 years by a mother who swore her child would never need them, and kept her word. Because the women who smell of the sea at dawn are the ones holding the world together, and the men who walk away from them spend the rest of their lives trying to swim back to shore for every fish vendor, every market mother, every woman who stood in the rain so her family could stand in the sun. Salamat sa lahat ng ina na hindi sumuko. Thank you to every mother who never gave up.